Hello YouTube. I wanted to share with you today my relationship with God and what God means to me and what my experience of God is. And so for a long time I felt very uncomfortable with using the word God because it just has so many interpretations. So if I'm trying to describe an experience, or if I'm trying to convey something that I want to teach someone, or I want to just share. The moment I use the G word, God, all of a sudden it goes into this sort of cloud of what does it mean to you, what does it mean to me, what does it mean to, everybody has their own understanding and their own relationship with God, the divine, the infinite, the many names. So I'll use the word God. I'll also use the word divine, the infinite, the fabric of all things and all no things. And it's really hard to put words to something that is really unnameable. So anyway, one day I was having a contemplation, and I was like, well, do you know, I had been experiencing a whole load of lucid dreaming. So I would be waking up every night, sometimes 2, 3 times a night, and writing down about my dreams. And so I had built quite a strong neural net in my brain that would, whilst I'm in that program of sleep, the neural net in my brain would wake up my physical body, and I could recall the information and write it down. And so it was, I could ask questions and then go to sleep and wake up after having the dream. And what I would do is I would start writing the first thing that I remembered as soon as I woke up, and then that would lead me to the next thing that happened before, and it would kind of work in a kind of reverse way. And so one day I was contemplating about, God, and this awkwardness in describing, and no one owns the one and all description of God. So I thought to myself, why not ask God to show me how God sees itself? I mean, I'd never thought of asking God that before, or this infinite, divine thing, no thing, to actually communicate with me and tell me how it, he, she sees herself. And so I did that. Before I went to sleep, I made a little invocation, and I said, God, show me how you see yourself. So I have an understanding of something, or an explanation that doesn't come from all that I know, which is limited, but comes from all that you are and aren't, that is unlimited. So anyway, I know, a bit wordy, but anyway. So I had this series of dreams, and that led to my understanding my relationship with God. And in those dreams I was shown a vast, an infinite black space. And throughout this space there was like a fabric, like I don't want to use the word matrix because that has other meanings to people, but it was a vast number of interconnecting threads, and it was the fabric. It was like the fabric of all things and all no things, and I saw this fabric moving, and I saw things coming out of this fabric, things going into this fabric, and the explanation I was given by God was that God is the infinite fabric of all things and all no things. The fabric that connects you and I together, connects every single thing and no thing together in this reality that we call life, or death, or whatever experience you're defining it within. But so when I speak of God, the divine, the infinite, I'm talking about an infinite fabric of all things and all no things that we are all a part of. We can't not be a part of this, was what I saw. No one is not connected to it, because we are it, is what I saw. So that led me on to another vision within these dreams, where I wanted further explanation and understanding of how we fit into this definition of God. And I had this beautiful sort of analogy given to me, where I have one being holding a mirror in front of itself, looking at itself. And when this being was holding this mirror, it could see a complete picture of what the whole reflection looked like. But then at the point of the start of this system, this mirror was thrown onto the ground and shattered into billions of pieces. And I was shown that within our journey, our unfolding, one of the sort of disciplines of that unfolding is starting to pick up each of those shards, all those little shattered aspects of the whole, and starting to see God, or the reflection of the whole, within every single piece of shattered aspect of that mirror. And so, you are one of those pieces of that mirror. I am one of those pieces of the mirror. Yet, as we unfold our spiritual self, our oneness with that divine here on this plane of existence, I personally, it's part of my discipline, is to be looking at each of those shattered aspects of that mirror and the mirror image of the whole, and start to see God in every single one of those. And by doing that, it starts to piece every single shard of that mirror back together, and you start to get a complete picture of that reflection that started off with, and that wholeness again, that oneness. But it's hard, because you look at someone and you have this, all your programs running, and all your judgments and all your definition of self in against them, or all kinds of, you look at someone and you see the surface, and you've just got to keep going through it and keep going through it and keep going through it. Or this is my discipline, it's not yours, but until I see God looking at me from anything, any person, and so anyway, so there we are. They're the two things that I wanted to share. Was this definition of God, so that if I mention God in these videos, that you have an understanding of what I'm talking about. She is beautiful, he is beautiful, it is beautiful, and at the same time, the space in between all those is beautiful. The divine fabric of all, And this process of reconstructing the mirror image of that complete reflection that was shattered upon entry and into this experience. And so there you go. Hope you enjoy some of these videos. I've had some interesting comments, and it's all part of my sharing. So there we go. So I think you can subscribe or leave a comment, and I'm always interested to hear what you heard on my videos, or whether you like them, disagree, and what is your interpretation of God. Share that, because obviously it's different for all of us. Okay, thank you. Bye.